and everybody brace yourselves. I'm going to say some more positive stuff about Deion Sanders here. Deion has a take that Shedeur Sanders should be the quarterback of the Miami Dolphins. And I actually think it's a good take. I actually think that, Shedeur with those speedy receivers, Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, that's what he's kind of got at Colorado. I kind of love this take by Deion. Let's play the Deion clip, and then we'll get your reaction.
What do you do business-wise if you the Dolphins? Do you go into the draft and take a quarterback, which what I'm saying, or do you say, Tua, let's check this out, let's see what we're going to do? Is his health more important than that?
Hold on. I think in these contracts, he's probably insured on that contract for maybe not the full value, but probably 75% for injury. That would be an injury. So he would probably get a settlement, I would say, Ocho time, what, 150 million?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the thing about we don't know what the true value of these contracts are. You know
this is great because this is what this also leads to. Let's say because of the Tua injury and things don't work out, and it leaves an open door, and they make a business decision and go into the draft, and boom, Shedeur to the Dolphins. Look at that. See how God works?
So you just got the revelation, huh?
Hey, you see how God works?
That's why he brought it up. That's why he brought it up, Ocho.
Hey, you see how God works?
He think he just thought of it.
Huh?
Don't tell him, Shannon. Don't tell him. Let him think he just thought of it.
Hey, hold on.
There's an extra layer to this. I like the idea of Shedeur to the Dolphins, but what Deion is also doing is saying Deion to the Dolphins. Steve, your thoughts?
Well, again, look, I don't know how shaky or hot the seat is of Mike McDaniel is. I get this. I get the sense that it's starting to become the beginning of the end. That Captain Kid Capri Pants, that soft way of being nice to the players, and you're not hitting a lot, you're not tackling. It's kind of caught up to the team. I mean, even South Florida media members like Dave Hyde are saying, I've seen a lot of teams practice. The Dolphins run the softest practices, and you're seeing what's going on. Here's the issue. Let's say Tua says, you know what? It's my life, my health. I'm not retiring. I'm not going. And I don't know how many teams are going to want to trade for Tua, or if they're going to release him. I don't know the salary cap hits. But first of all, let's see at the end of the year just where Shedeur is actually slotted. I know a lot of people are saying he's a top 5 player. That remains to be seen. There's still over half the season to play in the college football season. And then we're going to see how bad the Dolphins are. I do get the sense the Dolphins, without Tua, are not going to win a lot of games. That offense just does not look functional, and it completely has neutralized the effectiveness of Tyreek Hill. But would it be a good fit? Yes, because there might be a need. It's a big metropolitan city, and it's a fun city. But as for Coach Prime as the coach, I don't see it. And quite frankly, I don't know if what he does would work with grown men.
That's what you think. What Deion thinks is that it would work at his best fit is actually in the NFL, down in Miami, where the area where he's from. I'm sure Warren Sapp's salivating at the thought of coaching in Miami as well, and some of those other guys, and Deion and Shedeur being a package for the Dolphins. That is Deion's dream and fantasy, and that's what he's thinking. That's what he's trying to put in place. And so it wouldn't matter if the Dolphins had the top pick in the draft, because Deion would probably, do what John Elway did with his dad, and I'm not playing in Baltimore. What Eli Manning did. Where did Eli didn't want to play in San Diego? Maybe I couldn't remember. Yeah, and so I could see Deion trying to position himself for that play. It's very interesting. I like Shedeur in Miami. I don't think Deion is the right fit as an NFL head coach, but Deion certainly believes he's the right fit. It's very fascinating. Steve, 2 interesting games this weekend that I want your thoughts on before we let you go. The Cincinnati Bengals are hosting, I believe, the Baltimore Ravens. I don't think the number is -2.5. I would tell anybody listening, don't take my advice on the number here, but I love the Ravens -2.5. My NFL picks have been disastrous this year. I mean, I don't know if you could have Colin Cowherd's almost having as cold a start as me because I actually took his picks last week. But regardless, I think the Bengals are in a must-win situation here, and I think they're playing the wrong team, the Baltimore Ravens, the team that looks as good as anybody, got the running game revved up. Is this a must-win for the Bengals? They could fall to 1-4 this year. Joe Burrow's got the banged-up wrist on his non-throwing hand. Do you see this as a must-win for the Bengals?
Yes, because if the Ravens come out there and bludgeon them, they're going to be in complete control of that division. Now, that game's at Cincinnati, is it not, Jason?
I believe it is, yes.
Yeah, so be careful of that trap. I've seen bookmakers do this. They give out a number knowing that the public's going to jump. And if you are that particular team, that if you want any hope of winning that division, you got to rein in the Baltimore Ravens, who I believe at the end of the year are going to be a major threat. I like what they're doing. But you know what? I'm going to go against the grain here. This looks like a trap game from a betting perspective. I'm going to go with Houday. Going to go with Houday this week. Give me the stripes.
We have to call that a surprise picks. That's what that is. That's a surprise picks by Steve Kim.
Stephen A. Kim.
And finally, Stephen A. Kim. Finally, Cosell, Aaron Rodgers. They have scored 9 points last week. Tough game this week in London. Why am I blanking out? They're playing in London. Who are they playing? Someone
Vikings.
help me out.
I think Minnesota.
Vikings, yeah, thank you. Sam Darnold and the Vikings are as hot a team, they've looked as good as any team in the league. They're playing in London, early morning game. I actually think for Aaron Rodgers to get Devontae Adams, they need to lose this game. They'd be better off losing this game if they want a shot at Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers wants to be able to put pressure on Woody Johnson and that organization to go out and get Devontae Adams, they'd be better off losing in London to the Vikings than winning.
Right now, the hottest coordinator in the National Football League is Brian Flores. That defense is a demon to deal with. They mug the fronts, they bring a lot of people, and they drop people. They're very confusing. And look, I thought the Jets were making a lot of progress after beating a pathetic Patriot team. That turned out to be a mirage. They laid an egg last week against the rebuilding Bengals squad with the rookie quarterback. I mean, your defense gives up 10 points at home. That's got to be a victory. And you're still seeing the rebuilt, replenished offensive line of the Jets. They're still not in a cohesive unit. And right now, the worst team for that offensive line to play is the Brian Flores-led defense, the way they just rush people and they confuse you up front. And Sam Darnold is playing some great football. And I'm going to go against my own word here. I get it. We're in the first week of October. But an early October MVP discussion would have Sam Darnold on it. I like the Vikings in London.
If you enjoyed that video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a moment of Fearless.